has been in Toastmaster for more than 4 years, and he has joined more than 16 or 17 Toastmaster club all around India, from Pune, from Mumbai, from Delhi, and I don't know any international club also. He must have joined. So he has a huge experience and one of the best speakers Jaipur Toastmaster Club I have ever seen. I want all of you to give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Deep. Toastmaster Deep, Kafka-S, Toastmaster Deep.
How many of you heard the word Kafkaesque? Anyone? Few people. How many of you know Franz Kafka? Never heard his name? Franz Kafka is one of the most famous and influential writer of the 19th century. He was born in 1883 in Paraguay and died at the age of 42 by tuberculosis. How many successful books he would have written in his life? Anyone? Any idea? In his own lifespan, how many successful books he might have written? Anyone?
In his lifetime, none of his books were successful.
You have read about him, right? And how do you think his life has become so influential that today we are talking about it? Next question, why? To tell you that, I have to tell his life story. Franz Kafka was born in a business family where his father was a very influential businessman in Paraguay. His mother was from a very famous literary house, and he was a small, frail, sickly boy. Throughout his early life, he could not do much, and as from a business family, he was expected to follow his father's footsteps, but he could not at all. He was not that smart as per his father. He could not work that much. All in all, he was a disappointment to everyone around him. So Franz only found comfort in one place where nobody was looking at him, in writing. He buried himself in writing, and by the time he was in his early 20s, he published 3 pieces of work. And all of them were a failure. With that, I believe Franz Kafka might have thought that he is a failure in life. At the deathbed, at the age of 42, Franz Kafka told his only friend. He had made in his full 42 years of life just one friend named Max Brod. He told his friend, burn everything I have written till now because I don't think any of it should be published. None of my work is worth reading. And Max Brod did not. He compiled them over the years and published one after another. Amazing works like Metamorphosis and The Punishment. There are many. I could not name a single amazing writing of his. While reading about Kafka, I read all of this, and one thing I understood was that how demeaning he thought of himself, how less he could believe in himself, and how many Kafkas we might be living surrounding. How many of you have thought that this project, this speech, this writing, maybe this plan should be shoved under the pile of books because they should not be read should not be heard, should not be performed, and you will never do it. I have a lot of projects like this. Now, how many of you actually support your friends? We all think we support. All of us have good friends. But will you support your friends after his failure? Because while reading Kafka, I did not just read Kafka, I read about his friend Max Brod. The single person who supported Kafka throughout his life, even after his death. Because in Kafka's mind, he did not win anything. He died losing. But the world will always see him as a visionary winner because of one single friend who believed in him even after his death, Max Brod. This whole journey of knowing Kafka and Max Brod made me realize one simple thing, that in this whole world, maybe nobody believes in you, but if you have only one person, just one day you will make something of yourself. Not because you are amazing, not because you are doing something that is really, really great, but because belief of a single person can actually make you do great things. And I look back at all my projects and thought, maybe I should again start some of them, look back at few of them, and even if I feel like they should not see the light of the day, work on them. And I would also urge all of you to do the same, because maybe it's not great for you. Maybe it's the simplistic thing you have ever written, read, planned, strategized, or even executed. But for someone else, it could be the Kafka-esque of their life. Kafka-esque, which is now a genre of literary writing, came out of the half-baked ideas, half-written works, and the letters which were shared between Kafka and his friend Max Brod. At the end, just one line I want to reiterate from Franz Kafka. He wrote in his book Metamorphosis, which I could not finish. I was so much disheartened to read it. Like, I believe I read till 100 pages and I could not go more because I was not feeling well reading it. It was so dark and gloomy. He is terribly afraid of dying because he hasn't lived yet. And I believe all of us are terribly afraid of not us dying, but all of our ideas dying because we have not made them enough energy to live. Thanks.
Great, good speech, like motivational speech. It was a very wonderful speech. Now, coming to the opening part, you started with a question, and you instantly grabbed the attention of the audience, which is a very good way to start a speech. Why? Because from the very first point, from the very beginning, you grab the attention of audience, so they will be hooked to your speech. Proceed to that. Now, every speech has a good point and the improvement points. Now, while your speech had a lot of good points, I would sum up with 3 main good points you had in your speech. The very first thing is, of course, content part. The way you delivered your speech on the topic Kafkasque-Franz Kafka. So it had a very great message, but I would like to ask from you guys, what was the message of his speech? Do anybody remember? Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I would like to please raise your hand who knows the message of the speech clearly. I might ask you. Okay, so sir.
Don't kill your ideas until at least you give it.
Okay, and yeah.
Believe in whatever you
work and whatever you deliver, believe in it, no matter if others believe or not.
Okay, you were saying?
You should have friends like maths.
Okay, perfect. So that's what the message, the content was good, and it had a very clear message that you should not kill your work, your project before putting in front of the people. So very good, very well with the content part. Second thing is eye contact. I noticed that you were making eye contact with everybody sitting in this room. This is again a very important, very good factor for becoming a great speaker. Through the good eye contact, you keep everybody connected with your speech, with your content. So kudos to that as well. Now, coming to the improvement point, every speaker needs to learn from their mistakes so that he or she can be a good speaker. The very first thing I would like to mention is lack of good examples. I noticed that while you were you delivered the message very clearly, if you could have added few more examples, a real life examples to the people, so they will be more connected with your speech. Because even I felt the disconnect because of the lack of examples. And I saw that you had a plenty of time to share more context on that part. Second thing is audience engagement. As I started, you started with a question, but you could have done more in that way, like because there was only one instance where I felt the audience was interacting. So on and on, that speech was well delivered. It was a great motivational speech. The only challenge I have for you is to add more questions, add more examples in your speech. It was a fabulous speech. If you incorporate these improvement points, you could be a better speaker. Thank you.